Hi, everyone. Welcome to meal kit number 21 for the week of October 14th to 17th. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and I'm particularly grateful this week, as we all are, for you ordering from Curated by Beckta. Our restaurants had to close down this week, and it's tough. We've got 28 days before we can welcome guests back into the dining room, and so we're super excited to cook for you this week. So thanks for signing up. It's actually really easy menu this week. So first up, we've got our beautiful dukkha crusted salmon. We're going to toss that right in the oven. Oven set at 350 degrees. We're going to take our spiced potatoes right here. They're a curry spiced potatoes. So Chef Rich does his own special curry blend, and it's a little unique. So we didn't want to just say curry because it has some odd connotations sometimes, and so I hope you love them. But it's definitely the base that the flavors that you will experience are very much like a traditional curry. And because I never bake anything, baking intimidates the hell out of me. I got for a gift a bunch of years ago this silpat that you put on top of baking sheets, and I never use it. So I decided I would pull it out tonight in order to roast the potatoes on it. So again, throw it in there, and we're going to be 15 minutes in the oven and plate that up. Usually I start things off a little bit earlier to shrink down the video, but I think the video is going to be about 17 minutes. It'll be great. So we're going to talk a lot more about restaurants. We're going to talk a lot more about wine. We're going to do the awesome salad. From time to time, we get a comment saying that there's too many pots and pans, dishes to be cleaned afterwards. So there's no issue with this week. So the salmon comes in a aluminum tin that you can put straight in the oven on a little baking sheet there, no problem. So this week look, squash is just in season right now, and it's a beautiful flavor. Hopefully you didn't have too much pumpkin pie. Rideau Pine's one of our favorite farms to work with. They're just lovely people, and they really love to experiment with interesting and unique artisanal products. And one of them that is featured heavily this week in the pumpkin or in the squash salad is a gray ghost squash, and it's just super nutty and sweet. Delicious. So that's a big part of it, but we got 100 pounds of squash in order to be able to make these salads for you this week. So we have a horseradish vinaigrette, which I've left in the fridge on purpose. Hopefully I can find it. There we go. Everyone can see what's in our fridges. And so we're literally going to mix the rye is already mixed with the pumpkin. Or the squash, pardon me. Pumpkin is a squash. And we're going to toss this around. First on the squash and the rye, the toasted rye seed. It's been cooked. You want to warm up, you want to temper the squash and the rye. And then we've got our arugula. Toss it right in there. Chef was wondering how much vinaigrette to be used. I think we're actually going to use it all because there's lots to coat here. And going back to the instructions, we want to season with salt and pepper. It's a busy day today, so I didn't get things ready. I forgot the salt and pepper. So nice sea salt, fresh pepper there. So you want to toss up the arugula, the squash, and the rye, and then we're going to garnish with the toasted pumpkin seeds, the spiced pumpkin seeds, and the pickled teardrop peppers, which are just so beautiful. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope, just like that. So put it up on the plate. There's some thyme in here as well, so it's possible that you have a little bit of thyme stem. So just be careful on that. No need to eat that. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little firm. And Connor has paired up something really interesting for tonight with our appetizer. So we've got a little Spanish white from Valencia, and it's got more grape varieties than you can shake a stick at. This looks gorgeous. So the white tonight for the dinner for two package, and of course you can always upgrade your wines, but this is the standard package, is a Cellier de Roure, Cullerot, Valencia, and sandy loam and clay soils combined with interesting assortment of grapes planted. So we've got Macabeo, Malvasia, Pedro Jimenez, Malvasia, and Tortosina with some Chardonnay as well. All organic and very complex and interesting blend. I find it very nutty and minerally, but it's got that beautiful white floral quality and some great citrus. When I first opened this a few minutes ago, I found it almost tart and grippy, almost tannic. But give it a few minutes in the glass, and then it just opens up into this beautiful, luscious example of an interesting exotic white. One thing that we hear from people is that the wines that they get, they would never otherwise order, which is super interesting to me. The wine club is especially good for that in case you're looking to up your component of Curated by Beckta at home. Some really exotic things coming down the pipe. Connor shared with me the next few months today, and I don't know, they're really exciting. I don't want to give away any secrets, so if you're interested, it's $175 a month, and you get a wine snack rotating, and then every month you get somewhere between 2 and 5 bottles of wine dropped off at your house, and it's really fun. Okay, so we're going to finish off the salad. Let me see if we can. Okay, there we go. You can see that nicely. So we've got the pickled teardrop peppers, which are just so pretty. So I want to have them on top. It almost looks like Christmas time with the green and the red. And Chef Rich is probably going to be like, no, you're supposed to mix everything together. But I didn't want to hide them because they're so pretty. And then we've got the spiced pumpkin seeds. And a lot of them actually came from the squash that is in your salad. Oh, that's interesting. There's a lot of the dust that I want to. I'm just going to do this. See if I can. Gorgeous. Make the dust all around. So there is our Rito Pine squash salad with pickled teardrop peppers, pumpkin seeds, arugula, rye, and a horseradish vinaigrette. Oh, that's really nice. It's the first time I've been garnishing the outside of the plates. I have fun with this. Okay, so while the salmon is baking, we're going to plate the dessert. So back in the late spring, early summer, we got a ton of fresh cherries in, and we preserved them. And so now it's time to pull out some of the beautiful cherry preserves. Cherries are one of my favorite fruit. They're just, I don't know, they just pop. They make me happy. And actually, there's a lot of cherry in this wine. The red wine, by the way, is one of my favorites. We featured this maybe about, I don't know, 10 or 12 weeks ago. I can't believe it's been 21 weeks already. So this is a Beaujolais Les Griottes, and that actually means cherries. It's a type of cherries in France from Domaine Chermette. 100% Gamay Noir from 30-year-old vines. This cuvee called Griotte because of the end of the vineyard is bordered by cherry trees. And I'm wondering if I'm mispronouncing that. I have got my wife who is an excellent French speaker, and apparently I'm doing all right. So not only is it bordered by cherry trees, it tastes like cherries, and it makes me so happy. So I found some mint in our fridge. I always like garnishing everything with a little bit of green. We don't always include fresh green herbs to garnish things with. So if you've got something in your fridge, it just brings out the color a little bit more. Fresh herbs don't travel very well, so we try to not put things in that are going to be brown by the time that you get there. So I got these awesome bowls that I stole from Beckta because right now we're not using them in the dining room because, well, we don't have any customers in the dining room. And let me try to do a little swirl on top here. See how that looks. I'll do one with, one without, and we'll see which one looks better for Instagram. Anyway, so I grabbed some mint leaves from the fridge. And so I would suggest if you got some, throw them on. A little green always looks nice. So the dessert, by the way, is a cherry and frangipan tart. Frangipan is an almond paste, very Italian, and it's topped with a little chev, a little goat's cheese. And there is your cherry and frangipan tart with chev and cherry syrup. I can't wait for that. I'm very excited. Okay, now let's get down to business with the main course. Move those along. Now, I must admit, salmon for the longest time was one of my least favorite things in the world. I just didn't like the brininess of it all, the oiliness. It was just too much, too intense for me. But if you get this gorgeous Organic Oceans sockeye salmon, Organic Oceans is a supplier we've been dealing with for quite some time now, and beautiful wild caught salmon. They've also got, I believe, a little bit of farm raised stuff, but not salmon. And this is all from the West Coast and North BC. And it just, the darker the red color, the more crustaceans the salmon eats, and the leaner the fish is. I find the sweeter it is, and the less briny it is. So really something special. And I find it's not too oily, which is just great. So we are going to get the pan nice and warm. We are going to season the veg when it goes in. But I love, if you've watched this before, grapeseed oil, a great thing to cook with because it has a higher smoking content. So you can get the pan a little bit warmer, and the olive oil tends to burn a little bit. So this is really good. It's been a tough week, so maybe this bottle was a little bit lower than it typically is on a given Monday. Today is Tuesday because of the holiday. Okay, so we're going to take the leeks and the cauliflower, throw them right in there. I'm going to double check my instructions and make sure I'm doing it right. Saute the cauliflower leeks for 5 minutes. Add 1 tablespoon of butter per person, and that's after about 5 minutes. We're going to get there because butter just gives it. The oil is a lovely way to saute at a higher temperature because butter will certainly smoke and it will burn, and that's no fun. But butter is what you want at the end to give it a nice, luxurious mouthfeel. So while that's rocking away, we've got our Raita, which we're going to put down on the base. By the way, I didn't read the instructions, and I forgot to season the salmon with salt and pepper going in the oven. So we're going to make sure to do that coming out of the oven. I don't think it will have messed it up too much. And so many of you are sitting there wondering, why red wine with salmon? Well, because we love to do a white and a red. It's not always the case. We could have done 2 whites for tonight, but Connor and I, our wine director and I, both believe very strongly that you can do a great light red wine with the certain fish. And again, this particular salmon from Organic Ocean is very lean. And so it's not going to muddy the waters, so to speak. If you get a really fatty salmon or a really fatty fish and you do a tannic red wine, something really hearty, it's going to taste very metallic and it's not going to have a nice texture. So you don't want to do that. But light, high acid reds like this, with a lusciousness and a softness, really good with um, fish like salmon. Okay, I'm just gonna poke the leeks around here so that they cook at the same rate as the cauliflower. I love these rock frying pans. You get them at Canadian Tire, and they're beautiful because they're non-stick, but they can also take a beating. So my wife's happy, I'm happy, and our pans last for a long time. So check those out if you haven't, and you're looking for a Teflon pan that's got a little bit more strength to it. The Rock. I feel like I should start doing some product placements in this. What do you think? Honey, what do you think? No? Okay, so we've got this beautiful cucumber raita that we're going to put on the bottom of the plate. I always like doing, if we're doing a sauce like this, I love putting it sort of in a line. His appearance is so much. What do they say? I read this the other day. Your camera eats first. So, got to make it look pretty for Instagram. Thank you for those of you who post our stuff, because what it does is it increases our sales and allows us to hire back more of our staff. So thank you very much. And that's what we want. We are a family, and we want our family to be back together. All right. So the veg is almost done. We're going to turn it down just a little bit. Throw the butter in. Again, sort of 1 tablespoon per person. I did season that. And then right at the end, we're going to take our spinach and toss it in. For those of you who have ordered Jackie and James, I would like to say thank you. You guys have been amazing. Jackie is our neighbor at Play, and she's been such an amazing supporter. We closed down on Friday. She puts in another order. She's already got the 4-week subscription that she's got 2 or 3 weeks left on, and she's like, "Okay, well, here's another 4 weeks." And it's just amazing to feel that sense of community when we can't welcome people in our dining rooms. So, Jackie and James, thank you again. So the butter is nice and melted. We're going to throw the spinach in, and this is literally like 30 seconds. Make sure we got all that. All right, and now we're right about 15 minutes. So let's see how we're rolling. The potatoes look lovely. So I always want to make sure that I'm doing the instructions right. Otherwise, I get in trouble. So plate your raita on the bottom, followed by the veggies. So we can do potatoes or the veggies. I'm going to do potatoes because they are more brown and the more nicely colored stuff is on top. And the Silpat thing actually worked out. My son and wife can bake cookies and other things on it. I am a horrible baker, which is why I stay away from it. A lot of potatoes here today, so maybe there'll be less when you guys get it. I always give feedback to the chefs after I do my meal. I think we're going to do probably a little bit more veg and a little bit less on the potatoes. Look at this, I'm plating it very artistically tonight. It's so weird, I feel like I'm talking to myself. But I know that there is a beautiful audience watching me. Thanks for watching the videos. It means a lot to me. And if you got any feedback from your dishes, by the way, good or bad, please let me know, because we enjoy that very much. And we've got a little more time on our hands right now in order to be able to respond to it too. All right, salmon away. Don't let me forget to season it. So I've got one of these pastry spatulas that actually work really well at taking fish off. Ooh, that looks good. But yeah, I'm right that it needs a little green. I'm going to try to find you guys some chives to add on to the meal. So season, salt, pepper. Oh, daka. Thank you, Maureen. So daka is a Middle Eastern condiment with herbs, nuts, and spices. And Chef Rich had just texted me actually with what is in his daka. And of course, it's on the phone that is filming this video. So how's that? I'll tell you what, I'll include it in the notes that I send by email. So if you're watching this before you read the email, you will know what the duck is. Chef Rich, I hope you don't mind. I'm throwing some fresh chives on there because again, I always love the green. So here we have the duck spiced salmon, organic ocean wild sockeye salmon with spiced baby potatoes, curry, cauliflower leeks, and spinach with some gorgeous raita on the bottom. So, guys, thank you. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the order this week. I hope we get to cook for you. Takeout. Yes, takeout. So this week we're launching amazing takeout menus at Play, Beckta, and Gezellig. We're hoping to do some delivery within 5 kilometers of each place, so make sure to check that out because we get to hire more of our staff back if you guys order food for delivery. So within 5 kilometers of each place, maybe a little bit more, but we want the food to arrive hot. But check it out online at playfood.ca, beckta.com, or gezelligdining.ca. Yeah, great to cook for you, great to curate for you, and thank you for the amazing support while we're shut down from this. And I hope you guys are surviving this COVID isolation well. We'll see you next week.